to understand the difference between words that touch the surface and words that move the soul, because words are limited. Words expressed in small detail are power and strength of natural healing that erupts like hot fire in the craters of our hollow lava-like soul, because words are limited. Words only know freedom as we hear it. Misguided by its translation, we can't even see it. Its application has no voice, which knows no difference between communication of tongue-tied explanations and meaningful explorations, the ones our ancestors spoke from their fervent convictions, because words to them were limited. And while words juggle to explain and interpret anxiety's place, words try to convince us that ignorance and stereotypes don't really exist, and diversity empowers only the elect. But even words lie, because words are limited. Its repetition and reputation has no respect for human decency. It spits in its face and hides like shame when it's caught, because words are limited. The cries of anguish, the pains of ancestral voices sing from their hallowed graves, from their souls to ours. That is how it's always been communicated, through the soul, because words are limited. And assimilation is not the answer to world peace, but a precursor of discrimination. It's not in the language of its spoken ignorance, but how it injures and stabs even the essence of the soul it hates. Words kill. In an unjust and insincere world where color divides still exist, and the brownness of my skin tone can't even define what is in the sphincter of this burning indigenous soul that breathes melodies within me, tries to reason, because words are limited. And the emotions I feel for all my Native brothers and sisters of all indigenous cultures and races encompasses me, motivates me, binds me to this cultural connection that fuels my passion to liberate our freedom, to speak our native words. Adorned and worn on the tattoos of my deeply Native Polynesian skin, embossed with intricate lines that tell the stories of my warrior people who have surpassed colonialism in the name of independence, who struggle to maintain their status of loyalty and respect for a culture of love and compassion and bond of interdependence. The history of my people, strong, soulful, and sound, and the blackness of the ink that has pierced even the colorless soul within me keeps my spirit alive. The writings on my body's wall are symbolic of my soul's conviction. This form of communication to express what the soul on the inside can express even on the outside through this means of written emotions. To identify some sort of concept that can easily fade if spoken, because words are limited. Words play on emotions without the feelings. They draw the pictures without the colorful paintings. They sing the songs without the harmonious lyrics, because words are limited. They wait to define meanings that only exist on paper. They have no rooted explanation. Words want to control the mind and want to manipulate every situation, to suppress the desires of unspoken expressions felt inside the corners and rooms of our native souls. Words expect you to respond to its ignorance because it sounds like music, but it feels like shame, because expressions of the soul don't know these words, because we feel it, and because words are limited. Words cannot connect itself to emotions. Its verbiage translates into sign language that confuses the soul, because words can't hear what is being felt. Words can't embrace what has been broken. Words can't speak what the soul can't feel, because words are limited. They dangle in midair and voice sentences with articles that derails in detail the truth, because words are limited. Words are language spoken in constant acquisition, but our words, the ones that cross the river from the heart of the soul to the hole in the pit of our solar plexus, dance to songs and beats of colorful Polynesian drums that echo indigenous strength, that integrate and try to relate the truth of the American Constitution, because words are limited. To this day, my people have still not received confirmation of tribal and cultural recognition as Native Americans. Instead, we sing from the craters and corners of the soul, the ones our ancestors fought so we can live in freedom to have and to hold and to share with humanity our cultural experience. Because words are limited. And as long as we live with these words that cannot be defined in detail, the core cause of our existence, we remain silent. Silence from the society that makes these words with their cantankerous noise, with hurt and injure and rawness, our desires to be heard. The legacies our forefathers fought so we can teach to them cannot be taught to them with their words, but with ours. Through our souls, trying to fill gaps of emotional spaces and familiar places that fuses substance to love, to create a holistic balance where land and nature and breath of life through God's creation moves our soul and feeds our spirit without explanation, because words are limited. We speak with words that ignite conversations with our songs, and the stories that speak the soul essence with our hands through the movement of our cultural chants, the mana of our dance, because words are limited. The Western world has taught us to speak in codes, trying to define the realness of its rhetoric, but its eloquence is lost in between sounds and vague explanations. Mere words, they hide between the healing heart that waits to be defined in the stars of our own universal soulful constellations. And like irrational comments and misguided judgments and racial slurs, we are cursed for color and denied on merit because we feel deeply and passionately about things that warrant our voices to be heard. Not only for me and you, but our future generations to embrace and behold. Words can blind us, words can confuse us, and try to persuade us away from the truth because words are limited. And the careless misconceptions of the language we don't speak but feel has lost its way from the native ways of knowing to the ignorant worlds where societies in poverty are still growing. And the essence of the soul remains silent and safe, pure and free of confrontation, when it really needs to be addressed and accounted for only because we let them. Words cannot properly define the essence of our being, the whom of who we are and the what of what we can do, and the where of where we are going. Because when we are moved and how will we progress in time will explain in detail to the world and humankind why words are limited. Because words can never define the heartfelt desire of a people that wants to be understood. Because words are limited. And as long as we breathe the flowers of the beauty of the earth, and as long as we walk along the paths where the caribou and moose meet and cross, and as long as we swim with the whales of the deep blue sea, and as long as we respect the plants and the animals and the greenness of the mountains and the trees, and as long as we respect the beliefs and cultures of ours, we will be able to share our words with the world. And there we will begin to understand the essence of life and the beauty of our place in the language of indigenous and Polynesian love that fuels the fire and lights the lava that creates life, that can't be expressed in words, but felt deeply in the soul, as it has always been. For words of the soul matter most, because words without life are limited. Thank you.